Yeah, I mean, I think it is funny because part of it is, like you said, the fuck Trump stuff is so embraced. And also on the other end, this stuff is so triggering.
Yeah,
Like at the same time, the same people who embrace the fuck Trump are also the same people who get really triggered by pro Trump, anti Biden stuff.
how can you have so little of a sense of humor to not
Right.
get this? Right.
Yeah. I wonder why he did say that. I wonder how hard she tried to get into the cockpit too. That's
Yeah, that would have been
it.
If she had an accent and was doing it like the Shining style, that would have been really funny. You know, I need a quote. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill you. Yeah. I'm just gonna.
All work and no play makes.
Yeah, exactly. So Cenk got into the action too, by the way.
Oh, what happened?
So he, although this wasn't really related to the pilot, I don't think. He tweeted out, Republicans use Let's Go Brandon as a euphemism for fuck Joe Biden. And now they have hashtag Let's Go Brandon Day trending. So I guess Saturday was Let's Go Brandon Day. So that might have been a reason for this. Republicans will then turn around and complain that Democrats are not civil enough to them. And the media will take them seriously as if they're not all jackasses. Do we want to tweak Young Turks at all? All right.
Sure.
Here's Anna and Cenk exulting over a fuck Trump story.
Okay, let's see.
This made headlines after a local sheriff called her out for having a bumper sticker that it contained some expletives in regard to Trump and those who voted in favor of Trump. Now, the sheriff, Troy Nels, had threatened prosecution against this woman because of the bumper sticker, but then realized that there were some First Amendment issues there and later took the Facebook post down. But because of this story, it turned out that there was a warrant out for her arrest, and she did end up getting arrested, but posted bail. And then there's the other component of the story that I love. She started selling these bumper stickers, and they have sold out. They are now back ordered. So there is Karen Fonseca, the woman that I was talking about. And yes, she is selling the bumper stickers that you see behind her. She even created a new bumper sticker in response to Sheriff Troy Nels. And so that happened. The proceeds from these sales will go toward voter registration drives that will help elderly voters get to the polls.
Nice. And just to rub it in a little bit more, one of the people is a Fort Bend area Democrat named Ali Hassan Ali.
I mean, the story is just, there's so many twists and turns.
Yeah, and he says, they'll make more stickers. It's an ode to freedom, so I'm sure the right wingers would like it. Don't tread on me, Semper Fi, and all that stuff, right? I got my right as an American to put anything I like on my pickup truck.
Yeah.
And if the big government wants to try to prevent me from my freedom of speech, well, we do live in Texas, so they can stick it.
But that's just a random person who put a thing on their.
Yeah, and he goes on to say like, boy, that lady's got some balls on her, and
right.
There were other Young Turk stories. Yeah. Like,
I mean, to be fair, there's a difference between just being a private citizen and driving that around versus a pilot saying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's a lot of hypocrisy about what's acceptable.
Except that he wasn't even talking about the pilot. He was talking about just the general lack of civility of.
Let me see that again. Yeah, let me see the tweet again.
And just to be clear, like I think it's. I don't really care whether people flip off the president. Like,
yeah,
Trump, Biden. I mean, I think it's stupid if I'm bringing my kid to a ball game, I don't want to hear that in any direction. But the hand wringing over this versus what we heard 4 years ago, or a few years ago, was pretty funny.
Republican use "Let's Go" Brandon as euphemism for fuck Joe Biden, and they now have "Let's Go Brandon Day" trending. Republicans will then turn around and complain that Democrats are not civil enough to them, and the media will take them seriously as if they're not all jackasses. Who does play this? See, for me, I'm so used to the civility thing coming from liberals towards leftists, so I'm trying to remember what it's like when. Let's see, do Republicans? Yeah, I guess no, yeah. I mean, I think there's no real. Who cares about the fuck Joe Biden stuff? Kind of.
Yeah. Well, and especially who cares about Let's Go Brandon?
Yeah.
You know,
it's just so funny because it's just it's such a troll. It's so perfect because the only way to respond to something like Let's Go Brandon is to just ignore it.
Or even to go along with it. You know what I mean?
Like, I guess, yeah. But I mean, if you're upset by it and you don't want to enable the people saying it, then that's what you do.
Right. You don't, as an ex-FBI agent, imply that they're domestic terrorists,
right?
In an atmosphere where people are like doing stuff like that,
right? Because it doesn't make sense at all. Because Let's Go fuck Joe. I mean, she says Let's Go ISIS is the analogy.
Long live ISIS.
Oh, long live ISIS. That's just so dumb because you're literally saying fuck Joe Biden is the same thing as long live ISIS.
On a plane.
That's so dumb.
It's kind of
really,
awesome.
really, really dumb. Yeah,
I know it's a tempest in a teapot, and I know it's
no, but it's just. I mean, you could make the thing that always drives me crazy about this is that there's so many arguments you could make. You could make the argument like it's inappropriate for a pilot to make a political statement. Fine, say that, but to pretend that it's like some kind of cry to, especially ISIS, right?
And it should be immediately fired and blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, like.
I mean, you could even, I would disagree with you, but you could make that argument and not sound like such a fool.
Right.
If you just said you should fire people who make political statements in cockpits, but like it's the comparison to ISIS that's just so incredibly stupid.
And not to rub this in too much, but the last 4 years, they didn't just not denounce the use of like profanity with Trump. It was embraced as a move towards something higher and greater. Like there was a fuck Trump art show in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like sort of lavishly and lovingly covered by all the local media. And I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but you can't turn around a year later and then be like, I'm shocked that gambling is going on in this establishment. You know, I mean, that's what's going on. It's straight out of Casablanca, that whole thing.
Yeah. And then I'm annoyed by the people on the other side. I mean, there's hypocrisy on the other side too. Like,
well, of course, especially after the stuff that was thrown at Obama. Like, if we're going to complain about civility, if you want to go back that far, like, there was some pretty vile stuff that went on.
Oh yeah,
during that during that period. But this particular thing is Let's Go Brandon is about as harmless as this kind of shit gets. So
yeah.
Anyway, we got to move on to the truly important story of the day.
Important story that no one's talking about, that we're the only people who have the courage to talk about. Hello, thank you so much for listening to and watching Useful Idiots. For full episodes and extended interviews, please subscribe at usefulidiots.substack.com. You can subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/usefulidiots for clips, live streams, and full episodes. Also, subscribe to us wherever you find your podcast. Follow us on Twitter at UsefulIdiotPod and use the hashtag UsefulIdiotsPod. Join us Mondays at 10 a.m. for the Useful Idiots Monday Morning Show, where we discuss the Sunday morning news shows so you don't have to watch them.